feed them, clean them, put them to bed. So many different horns on their heads. They fight each other 3 by 3. Be the best Axies you can be. Axie Infinity. Raise them up in the terrarium. Axie Infinity. Get them in shape for the battle to come, to come. Eggshell, scaly spirit, enemy imp. Caterpillar, poppy, cactus and trump. Strawberry, shortcake, Uncle Rosebud. And many more traits that you're gonna love. Axie Infinity. Raise them up in the terrarium. Axie Infinity. Get them in shape for the battle to come. Axie Infinity. Raise them up in the terrarium. Axie Infinity. Get them in shape for the battle to come, to come.
Huh. Well, I'm equally intrigued at the song, the Axie Infinity, which again, another perfect song for the video.
Yeah.
And that appears to be a song a day. Does that guy really make one song every day?
I didn't even catch that part. Did it say it's a song a
Yeah,
day?
I'm gonna have to check that guy out on YouTube after this because I am very intrigued. So
That's the difference between you and me, Ben. You're gonna go look for that guy. You're gonna look for more songs by that guy. I've banned him. I've already complained on YouTube about his terrible music. No, I didn't go that far. Obviously, I just stole some of his stuff for the opening of the show. But Axie
No, that's
Infinity.
perfect song, and it's probably going to be stuck in my head.
Would you believe me if would you believe me that I actually had to go through more than a handful of songs before I chose that one? There's more than a handful of Axie songs out there. Is that surprising?
That is surprising, but that's good news. If there's already songs about it, I mean, that's got to count for something.
Well, Ben, this is episode number 5, MetaMentors, Axie Infinity. There's more than 5 songs, clearly, because this is a play-to-earn game, first of its kind. It's basically cutting the path for play-to-earn games. Just saying that is nuts to me, but it is a true thing that, yes, you can actually make money, and some places are making more than money. They're making a living playing Axie Infinity. So play-to-earn games, lifting people out of poverty, giving kids more money than their allowances. It's changing. It's happening, and everybody else is chasing after Axie at this point, trying to catch up with this infectious game. So one of the quotes that I came across, you know me, I love starting the show with music, and I'm drawn to quotes. This was a quote from the Axie team. We believe that part of the ethos of Web3 is the idea of users being rewarded for the value that they bring to the applications. And this is what we chose to focus on with Axie. How nuts is it that these games, these entities, these Web3 are wanting to provide value and monetary means to their actual players? That's Web3. That's decentralization. That's the environment we're headed towards. We're already in. Pretty amazing.
It's about time. I've put in a lot of time and hours on these video games, and it's about time that they start kicking back a little bit. I love the idea.
It's happening. It's very, very cool. And it's all over. It's all about the community and decentralization. But before I get into the story of Axie, why don't you hit us with a disclaimer and this week's crypto news?
All right. Well, you know the deal. Before we get started, this is not financial advice. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes. Don't take anything we say too literally, but if you hear a good idea we say, feel free to discuss it with your financial team before making any financial decisions. The big news on crypto this week was the Super Bowl. Several of these articles state that the winner of the Super Bowl was crypto, which I totally agree with. All of these talk about mostly advertising the different crypto companies during the Super Bowl. One of the ones we'll get into talks about the FOMO that it pitched. It states that it wasn't really explaining the crypto the way that they should have explained it, which makes sense. But I also don't know how you're going to explain Ethereum in a 30-second commercial. And if you take longer than 30 seconds, I mean, you're talking millions and millions of dollars every 30 seconds. So really what got pitched on all the commercials was the fear of missing out. The first one kind of takes it with Larry David, the guy that misses out on all the good inventions throughout history, which has been the theme of our channel. Is that's what we've done over the last 10 years, is miss out on the wave after wave of all these cool crypto, first Bitcoin, then Web3. And it's like, so now we're trying to stay in front and not be like the Larry David character. So having that kind of star firepower is excellent. Obviously, they don't have time to go into everything that the blockchain is, which is fine with me. That was what you heard some complaining about, but everybody gets the idea. If you're not figuring it out, if you're not trying to learn something about crypto at this point, you're going to fall behind, which I agree with 100%. Another one of the articles talks about the winner of this year's Super Bowl was just money, period. And they talk about sports gambling, crypto, all the stuff. You didn't see nearly as many Budweiser and Dorito commercials as you usually do, because they know that this is the chance to reach the mainstream. This is the chance to grab a hold of as many people as possible. And another one right there, we've aired that Fortune Favors the Brave commercial on this channel before. That was the one that I was waiting for. And I think that is such a great slogan. Whoever does crypto.com's advertising is nailing it. There's the LeBron James crypto.com, where he goes back and talks to his younger self, and he says the line, well, I can't tell you everything, but I know if you're ever going to be successful, you got to start making your own choices. And departing from traditional finance is exactly that. I mean, that's what you have to realize, that the way we're going, well, the way that it isn't the best way. And to change that, you might not know exactly what crypto.com is, but it's time to start looking into it, because fortune favors the brave, which I agree with 100%. Like the third article, the actual one that talks about the FOMO, it goes into a great list of detail of all the FTX, crypto.com, Coinbase had it. Coinbase did it perfectly. We'll talk about that one next. But all of these pushed you're either in or you're not. I mean, it's like, I don't have time to explain it to you. You're either in or you're not. And I think that it does the job. I mean, that's why we will go straight into Coinbase. That's why Coinbase, when it popped it up, it just had the little icon. I'm going to put a link up there real quick. Yeah, well, except it was a QR code. Yeah. And so I was at a party at a bar, and all of a sudden, not everybody, a good deal of people run up to the screen. I wasn't even paying attention, and they pull their phones out, and I looked around, and that was the first thing I thought was this channel. And I thought, oh my gosh, look at the people sitting down, laughing at the people who ran up there with that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd rather get my financial advice from the people who ran up to the screen. And then sure enough, Coinbase talks about I'm serious. And you could tell if you looked out into the crowd, you'd be like, well, I wouldn't listen to anything, not because they're sitting down, but you could just tell that's not who I want to get my financial advice from. But
that's a great observation, man.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And I won't go into detail on how you could tell, but the nerds that ran up to the screen, I thought, those are the guys I want to hang out with. Those guys know what's going on. And apparently it was so popular. Yeah, you could see it right there on the screen. They had 20 million people in that 60-second commercial hit that QR code so much that it crashed Coinbase. Very temporarily, but I think they said they went 6x over what they were expecting in that exact moment. 20 million people hit that, which for crypto is huge. For anything is huge. But for crypto, 20 million people all at once doing the exact same thing on the exact same exchange, that is unheard of. And it's like, that's great, because whenever you hit that point, that breaking point, then you're like, okay, well, here's the new level. Now we got to make sure that we don't fall below that. We got to make sure that you can hold 20 million people at one time. So who knows what's going to happen next year? But I just thought the subtlety of this, it not only was it mentally while you're watching it, like, oh, should I get involved in crypto?
Right.
But like the party that I was at, maybe a third of the room kind of whipped out their phone. And it was like, if you had no idea what was going on, you felt left out. And just sitting there watching it, I was enjoying it so much because I thought, these people know what's going on. You could see the people sitting down who had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, that's what a beautiful, I mean, it's turning, and you know that they're going to ask about it later. You know that the third of the people that went up there and hit the QR code, as soon as they went and sat back down at their table, they were getting asked by people, oh, what was that? Or what is this? So
that's exactly what happened to me. Like we've been predicting there's going to be, clearly crypto ads during Super Bowl. That's, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out for anyone that's actually been paying a little bit of attention. But when it came up, I just sat in my chair. I knew it had to be crypto and I thought I was too cool. And then the guys at the station jumped up or taking, doing their QR code. Well, what did I do? I scrambled to find my QR code scanner and get it myself. And of course, I was behind the curve. It had already backed up by that point. But just like you're talking about, the sense of urgency that jumped up in me, even though I thought I was cool and knew, I'm like, these guys don't know what's up. I know what's up. Well, the sense of urgency and the fear of missing out got me also after about 10 to 15 seconds.
Right. Name one other commercial, even in the last 3 Super Bowls, that got people to stand up out of their seats and come to the TV. I mean, you're talking like, how genius is that? You're not just, oh, that was a good commercial. They physically got up from their seat and went to the, we went in front of the big projector screen and people were snapping that. And I thought, man, that's good advertising. I love crypto.com. They make everything so easy, but man, whoever is in charge of advertising over there is crushing it right now. And they're just dumping money into it. So you see the name everywhere, but this isn't just name recognition. They are doing the right thing. They're getting their name out there. So that's it for news this week. All it was is Super Bowl. That's all I've been reading about. I've been rewatching the commercials. I'm not a huge LeBron James fan, but that was a good commercial. That hit it on the nose. I mean, he says, his younger self says, is all the hype worth it? Talking about his career. Yeah. And he said, I can't tell you everything, but I know if you want to make it, you're going to have to start making your own choices. Yeah. And he's like, all right, we're going to the league. And it was just like,
it's giving me goosebumps right now still. It was home run and very simplistic. I mean, very well done. Mm-hmm. And it probably helped that leading up to a lot of those commercials, you were like, these suck. Like, what is the deal? And then crypto's hitting home runs on stuff. Fear of missing out again and again. Fortune favors the brave.
Yeah. When it's snack foods or beer companies, beer commercials used to lead the way for Super Bowl commercials. But this year it's like, well, name 5 good commercials. Well, 4 of them were crypto commercials. You know what I mean? 4 of the best were crypto. So I think we're at the right spot at the right time.
I think it's safe to say, Ben, that crypto has taken front stage. They dominated the commercials during the Super Bowl, and they're at the front of most people's attention. Speaking of dominating, Axie Infinity, that's what we're here for. Episode number 5, Axie Infinity, first to the play to earn market and are dominating the market. They are setting the rules at this point, leading the way. Found a great short video that encapsulates what they're about. Let's take a look at it. What is all the hype about with play to earn? Well, who doesn't want to play video games and earn at the same time? What we're looking at here is the map of Axie Infinity. But before we jump into the lands, let's talk about the story of Axie. Formed or built, started in 2018 by Sky Mavis, a tech company out of Vietnam. 40-person team comprised of competitive coders, engineers, and even professional hackers to agree, or professional competition hackers. They formed in 2018 with the like-minded idea that they wanted to create an eye-catching, fun, social game that provided real monetary rewards to its players. Again, hitting on that decentralization theme. They're not trying to keep all the money for themselves. They want the players to earn money, play to earn, and help spread this game, Axie Infinity. That was their vision. A lot of people have compared this game to a cross between Clash of Clans and Farmville, which is, I've never played either of those, but I thought that was a really interesting combination. So out comes this game in 2018. COVID comes along shortly thereafter, and billions of people are stranded in their homes. Many lose their job, looking for a way to not only entertain themselves, distract themselves from COVID and all the chaos there, but more importantly, earn some type of income so that they can support themselves and their family. One of the countries that jumped on with Axie Infinity early on and really took to it was the Philippines. Many of the Filipinos live below the poverty line, and this was a way, whether they were working or not, to actually earn an income and support themselves and their family. Many of them are earning 3 times the minimum wage for in the Philippines. So more than 3 times the minimum wage. That's a huge increase for a lot of people that are considered poverty in the Filipinos. This part of the reason the Filipinos really took off is there's a tech company by the name of Yield Guild Games in the Filipinos that it goes by YGG as short. And one of the things they've done is they offer sponsorships, and I believe they actually call them scholarships, to local Filipinos who can't afford to purchase Axies and start playing the game, because this game does take a little bit of money to buy in. And so through these scholarships, this tech company helped many, many Filipinos below the poverty line get into Axie, learn how to play, start playing, and earning some money that they could actually support themselves. Part of the deal is that YGG would get 30% or roughly 30% of the net profit through these scholarship players. So they're benefiting. People that are struggling financially are benefiting. It is a win-win situation, as we like to say. As of the end of last year, you had 2.1 million daily users playing Axie Infinity. To compare that, Roblox, which has been around for a while, has 49 million daily users. So if you're looking at this game from a growth perspective, a possibility of return on your investment, ROI, there is massive opportunity and growth there. Last I checked, my kids were not getting paid anything to pay Roblox. Matter of fact, I think it's the opposite. I'm pretty sure a chunk of their Christmas and birthday money goes to Roblox cards every year. Let's jump into the land. So you've got the map of Axie Infinity here. There are 90,601 individual parcels of land. Currently, there is only one area, quadrant 1 here, that I've got basically circled that's open. You have 3 other quadrants that will open as this game progresses. But as of right now, it's only quadrant 1. And the land itself is available to be purchased. Much of it has been. But you actually can't play on the land just yet. Right now, Axie Infinity is just about battling Axies. The land play will be opened up sometime in 2022, and that will accelerate the investment opportunities and also just the sheer amount of fun and excitement with the game. So a lot of excitement there, a lot of talk of the land play opening it up. And it's also rumored that once they open up land play in 2022, a second quadrant will follow not long after that. They're also rumoring or pushing that quadrant 1 is where you want to be. The early adopters are going to benefit the most, is what they're telling us. So let's jump on to the next map here, next picture. So you've got these black squares you can see throughout here. This is the black squares are your available plots of land for purchase. They're up for sale. Currently, there's 561 plots as of just a couple days ago. You can see over here to the left, I've got the 5 areas selected here. See the check marks. And these are color coded. You've got the center here, which is Lunar Landing, I believe. This is like your town square where most of the action is going to be happening. The black here is what's called Genesis. That is the most expensive land that you can buy. There's 220 parcels, only 75 released in the first disbursement, the first quadrant here. Then you have this water, like a river going around it here. Next is the Mystic in the blue, Arctic in the white, Forest in the green, and then orange is the Savannah. And so the pricing of land and the desirability is more the closer you are to this center here. As you go out, the land becomes cheaper, but there's less traffic, there's less value. So clearly you want to be as close to the center as you can, or as that you can afford to be. Next to that, you're wanting to be near or next to a road. You can see the roads here, and or water. And that's up for the discussion on which of these is better, being near water or a road. Clearly being next to both is the best. These pink areas that you're seeing here are called nodes, N-O-D-E-S. And these are your resource centers. My understanding is also there'll be battles held here with Axies. That's the other very important location, is being next to these nodes, purchasing land as close to these nodes. So obviously the more that you can combine together, being close to the center, being close to a road, being close to water, close to a node, the better your value is. So when you're searching for lands, that's something that you're going to be trying to cue in as an investor, is looking for available plots as close to these entities or as many as possible. Clearly, most of them, the price is more expensive, but if you poke around in here, you'll see that not every land is equal and the price is all over the board. I'm going to show a little bit about that here shortly. Let's move on to the next shot. So I did a little bit of case studying, and there was a gentleman and his son who purchased land in Axie back in May of 2021. They purchased 2 pieces of land. This Arctic piece here at 1.3 ETH, and this forest here at 0.95 ETH. So just over 2 ETH total for both of them. They did their own research. This is what they selected. You can see they're right next to a road here and close to some nodes here for resources. So they picked up those lands. This is a third piece of land that, as I was doing the case study, they were in the process of identifying. This one here is at 1.75. It's forest land again, because it's here in the green, right next to the water. As he was selecting this land, I got to watch him tour different pieces of land here. And this was last year. At 1.75, this was the best piece of land. You had several others that were anywhere from 2.2 all the way to 10 ETH that were along this water. And that was his goal with buying this third piece of property, was being near water, because his understanding is it was going to be an excelled travel rate with lots of Axies traveling down it. We're told that you're going to be able to fish, to boat, to ice skate. Anything that has to do with water is a possibility with Axie Infinity. So this was a piece of property he was looking at purchase, and he actually went through and did purchase this property. One of the major news stories with Axie Infinity last year was this Flying Falcon Properties. They purchased virtual land. They purchased 7 pieces here of the Genesis land in black for $1.5 million. They got laughed at. They got poked fun of. And of course, were called crazy. This land here now is estimated to be worth more than $15 million for these 7 parcels. So more than a 10x, roughly a 10x or more for this purchase of 7 parcels. When you're talking about ROI, that is a pretty good return on money, I believe. And this is the beginning. Again, the land play hasn't even opened up here. That is going to explode the market once that actually takes place. We're going to bring up the land, the actual available land here. And so once you get into Axie Infinity, you pull it up online. You're clicking on lands. As you can see, like I stated, coming soon, not even available yet. So we'll go into the marketplace here, which I just showed you some screenshots on. You've got the lands over here. So depending on what you're wanting to purchase, and I'm going to show Arctic and Forest because that's what we were looking at before. I want to show you some comparison prices. You can click on map over here so you can actually see where these pieces of land are. Here's the center again. And we're over here in quadrant 1. So as a comparison, I wanted to look at what these lands were going for today that were purchased back in May by this father and son. Don't know if they're still the owners or not, but you can see they're currently asking 17 ETH. So went from roughly 0.95 ETH to 17 in just under a year, actually closer to 9 months. And then the Arctic, they're asking 20 ETH. And I don't recall if this is the exact plot, but it was right here. So pretty good return on money. And if you remember over here, this area, he was purchasing at 1.75. You've got 6 ETH there. So might be some actual value. And down here on this corner, so here we are on water and road, 10 ETH. And this is also, to me, this looks like basically a main road coming out of the lunar landing here. So increased traffic, again, 2.1 million users a day right now. So that's a lot of Axies. And you actually take that times 3, because to play this game, you have to play with 3 Axies at a time, have to battle with 3 Axies at a time. So you're looking at, roughly 6 million Axies running these roads, running these lands once they open up. Huge opportunity there. I want to jump back. So again, this is your Axie land, not unlike a lot of the other worlds we're looking for. You want to be close to the center. And I think I failed to mention the center is also the spawning area where all the Axies will start as they enter the game. So the closer to the center you can be, the better value. Closer to nodes, roads, and water sources, the better you're going to be. The more of those you can combine together, the more of a guarantee you're going to have return on your money, which that's what we're doing with investing in the metaverse. We're looking for a return on our money and maybe some fun. But I wanted to jump back here and show you, here's the roadmap. You can go on here and actually read into the land. It talks about resources, and Ben will probably get into some of this. But as far as the land and the plans for it, you can come in here, look at some of the numbers, look at some of their plans. That ought to help you decide where you want to invest in Axie Infinity.
this game is as popular as it is because you can earn money. And the reason it's not more popular is because just to get into the game, there is a buy-in. And that's why that company had the scholarships, because you have to buy an Axie to get into the game. And actually, I think you buy about 3 of them.
Yes.
But you actually invest in one of these little characters, and then it's your job to compete against other characters. You can do a little bit of side challenges, but you basically grow them with skills. You're playing like it's a card game. I did not buy an Axie, so I got in and looked around, and then I ended up having to go to YouTube and watch other people play them. And I got to tell you, I was excited about the gameplay because I'm like you, looking at the animations and looking at the worlds, I really dug what was going on visually.
Yes.
The gameplay right now, I'm not interested in at all. Like playing the Pokemon style, not interested. But anything that keeps 2 million people's attention every day and has them coming back for more, that has my attention. And I'm well aware that stuff like, I was hoping it was going to be more like Pokemon Go, where you were actually out wandering around the real world, or, or doing something where it's more of a game. But this is probably right up the alley for the generation that grew up on Pokemon and Digimon and all the little animated challenge games. I'm waiting for more of a first person shooter play to earn.
Right.
But I'm well aware that it has to start with a game like this, because they put it out there. When I was watching it, I thought, oh, this will be like a Mortal Kombat style fighting game. But then they flip over a card, and he flips over a potion, and he flips over this, and it's all the stuff that you've collected and built up. So right now it's a big part of who has spent the most money on their Axie, and then going around and beating up all these little Axies. So
that's right up your alley, Dan.
Well, if you let me fight, I would love it. If it was a Mortal Kombat or a Call of Duty style, I would love it. But I love this animation. I really think it's got a lot going for it. And it, like you mentioned, it hasn't even opened up the gameplay, the land gameplay yet. It is a very basic game right now. And right now it's got 2 million people a day playing it. We'll get into the market cap and stuff like that. There is a lot of money getting dumped into this from a lot of places. And there is a lot of stuff growing. Once I got into the website, I set up an account. I linked up the wallet. There is a lot of promise when you take a look at all the inside. You gonna play that song again?
No, sorry, I was trying to look for some good footage of it, but
yeah, I'll probably just put some in there after this, because I did find one guy that just sat there and played the game, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting, the fact that we went the opposite way. I was super interested with this game before I got to it, and you weren't. And then you were more interested afterwards. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm not really excited to play it. Not yet. Once they open up the land, they're working on their metaverse right now. Once they get that going, once there's more of a Zelda-like quest where you're going out and you're grabbing your jewels and you're grabbing your resources and bringing it back, then you've got my attention. But one of the things that I did like about it, you've already talked about buying the land, and once you have the land, you're earning resources. It's like every transaction, every time somebody buys an Axie, a portion of that goes to all of the landowners, and it goes into the big pool. I don't remember what they call the pool, but it goes into all the landowners. So if you get any of this stuff, if there's action happening on your land, you get more of it. But anytime somebody's playing in the game and you own the part of the game, then you're getting some of the kickbacks, which I thought was really cool. Plus, they also have made it super easy to stake the native governance token. So the big token, AXS, the token that they use to run all of this, they've made it very easy in the Axie account and with the Ronin wallet that you connect. Made it very easy to stake. And at one point, it was earning close to 1,000 APY was what they were advertising. Now it has dropped back down. Now that there's a ton of people doing it, they've got 100% right now is what it's advertised is 100% APY in AXS tokens. So they also have another token called I got it here. Let me check it real quick.
Yeah, special love potion or special.
Yeah, smooth love potion. That's what it is.
I need some of that. Forget Axie. Can I get some of that?
I read an article where people in Venezuela right now, similar situation to the Philippines, people are paying their rent with smooth love potion because I know, but the landlord is well aware because you could just take it off the market right now, off and go sell it. You can flip it on any exchange. So smooth love potion is like the silver to the gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, the landlords are taking it because inflation is so crazy. The Venezuelan dollar or whatever it is, it's nothing. But on this, it's universal. So it's a nice, stable coin, and they're accepting smooth love potion. Can you imagine 5 years ago telling your landlord you're going to pay rent with some smooth love potion?
Yeah, I'm picturing the conversation with my mortgage company over the phone right now. And
I don't have any money per se.
I got something better.
Right. That sounds like you're paying with magic beans. When's the metaverse coming that's going to have magic beans? I swear I'll pay this month, but it's in magic beans.
Yeah, but isn't that, I mean, the reality, and you just hit on it, but it's not something to be glossed over. The security of crypto, which special love potion is, the security of
smooth love potion.
Smooth.
Please get it right.
Potion. I'll take
this serious.
Smooth love potion. Yeah, the name is funny, but it's a currency that is, it moves right along with the rest of the currency, and it's way more transparent and safe. And that's why landlords in Venezuela are happy to have it.
Right. And I don't remember what the number was, but Axie had talked about places like Venezuela and the Philippines. Technically, the Ronin wallet was their first bank account. Their first, you know what I mean? And it's like, that is so revolutionary, and it's like, they're like, well, I don't really have like a bank account, but they can pay, they get, and it's super easy. It's easier than transferring money between checking accounts. So not only is it transparent and it's, a currency and it holds value, but they can also pay it real quick. They don't got to run down to the ATM and do this. They can sit there at their house, pay their landlord with smooth love potion. And I just love it. So on the gameplay, basically what you do is you buy your small Axie. You got to buy to play. And if you're in a country that has scholarships, there is stuff like that available. Nobody in America probably would qualify for it, but it's not too much to get in. The gas fees right now are more expensive than the actual Axie that you're buying. So the Axie is the name of the characters. You buy those, you grow them up, you fight, and while they're doing that, they're working on the back end to open up the map play, where you'll actually have characters that'll wander around their own metaverse, buying, collecting, and it's creating its own economy. And the economy, we'll just use that nice segue right into the economy, runs on the Axie Infinity Shards. One thing that I had to make myself do was I was calling the coins Axie, like Axie coins. So if you got some Axie, but the Axie is the video game character. The Axie is the little Pokemon looking dude, and the shard is the money. So AXS is the coin, the token, that serves as the governance token for the Axie universe. It's an ERC token, so it runs on the Ethereum blockchain. But the good part about that is it means it's available in most exchanges. Once Coinbase has it, most places have it. Crypto.com has it, Gemini has it, and then all the little ones. When AXS, when it was first launched, was 10 cents, and that was at the beginning of last year, I believe. And there are 270 million Axie Shards, and which at the current price means it's at about a $4 billion market cap. The current price is $61.79. Ryan, can you bring up the Axie Infinity
Yes.
shard page? Can you pop that up on yours? I'm going to cover up my notes here when we do this in post-production. But yes, that right there, the AXS, that's what we're looking for. So the Axie Infinity Shards, that's the main token. And like I explained to you, inside the game is the Smooth Love Potion. So this is like the silver and the gold. The silver you get used for day-to-day transactions. You can earn it in the quick gameplays and the competitions. Axie Shards is like the gold. The gold is the governance token, so it falls right along with the rule. Whoever has the gold makes the rules. So the more Axie you have, you actually are allowed to be a part of the governance of the game and being able to vote, and you're able to stake. I've looked into staking on a few of these, and it's a little bit of a process, and you got to move it around a little bit. This is the easiest game I've found to stake their governance token. So in their wallet, you're able to connect your Ronin wallet and literally just click it over. It pulls it straight from it. I'm sure everybody's going to get that way, but you can tell by this website compared to some of the websites. I mean, even like Next Earth that we did last week. Axie's website looks like a website that gets 2 million views a day, that gets 2 million hits, that has 2 million players. They've got a lot of money in design. They've put a lot of work into the wallet and into the accounts. So one of the things I'll be doing, like I've done with the rest of them, I've bought into Decentraland, Mana, and Next Earth. I'll be buying into Axie Shards, but I'll be putting them onto the Axie account, and I'll actually be staking them. So this will be the first one that I stake and try to earn residual income. So I'm excited to see in a few episodes how all of that is doing. You can buy Smooth Love Potion on some of the smaller exchanges. You can get it in the game. But I'm going to avoid the Smooth Love Potion because I think that's more helpful if you're actually playing the game. But as far as the investing in the game, and if you think that Axie Infinity is going to do good, you're very okay buying and staking the Axie Infinity Shards. Let's see.
Shards. That's a real interesting.
Got to make sure you hit it with the D. Shards.
Well, you know me and my improper English. So
well, just don't put a T on the end of it, or it's gonna sound weird if you're staking your shards.
Another thing that won't go well with the mortgage company when I call them to pay that.
Exactly. Well, I've got all these shards that I just don't spit out your drink. But in summation, I so far I bought some land in NXTT or in Next Earth, and I bought some coins in all of them. This is another one that the buying the land, it's more reasonable than Decentraland and Sandbox, but it's still not where I'm at. So I'll be buying into the token. The token is the AXS, and I'll be staking it. So I'll put that. I'll update that as we go along. Like I said, right now the price of one of those is $61.79. So it's a much more expensive coin than the rest of them, but it also it's right around the same type of market caps. Decentraland and Sandbox were both between 3 and 5 billion, I think. But at its highest, it was worth over $160 just back in November when we were having the big crypto bull run. So it's got potential to go up. It's got potential to almost triple from where it's at now just to get back to its all-time high. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to more to seeing what else kind of gameplay they've got. Some of the stuff I've seen in Decentraland specifically looks great. This game looks great, and I can see why people would like it. I don't think that I'm going to be interested in playing the Pokemon style game, but once they open up the land the land gaming, and like I said, it's got a real Zelda feel. Even the graphics has a real, Ocarina of Time Zelda feel, where you wander around and you're gathering your potions and your gems, and you're bringing them back. You're growing your account. So I'm looking forward to that. And until they get closer to that type of play, I'll be investing in their coin, their AXS Axie Shard coin.
Which of course, like you mentioned, at $61, you can, if you've got $100 to spend, you can buy one in a fraction of a coin with that, and the $1,000 and $10,000.
Oh yeah.
Now you're getting into a little bit, obviously you can buy more tokens, you can buy Axies with the $100 there. I want to say there's some that are under $100. Is that what you see?
There are, but they want you to have about 3 of them. I actually, when I saw the most recent deal, said to really get going in this game, it was going to be just under $1,000. So that's a perfect segue. I can't believe I forgot about that part. So yeah, there you go. $100. I'll make a little a note over here on the right. For $100, you can get in, and yeah, you can't get too much of this coin, but this coin has already been up to $160. So 1.5 right now. If it just has another good run, you're back on that. So for $100, you can get into AXS or the Smooth Love Potion. I'll put that price right there too. You can get a little bit more of those because those are cheaper. But for $1,000, you can really get into this game, really get into the gameplay. You can buy several Axies, you can upgrade them, you can get them going, and those are the primary way that people are playing to earn. The people in Venezuela and the Philippines aren't making their money with the staking. They're making their money by getting in and challenging and flipping those Axies. So they're buying them for a couple $100 and they're selling them for a few hundred more, and they're doing that over and over and over, and they're growing them up. So for $1,000, your primary, that's where you're going to be able to get into the Axies, which are all NFTs, and you're actually going to be able to get in and play this game, which is open and playable right now. And then in the $10,000 range, that's where you're going to be able to buy some land. And in this game, you can actually afford the land. For $10,000, you can get a lot more than you can get in Decentraland or Sandbox. So yeah, that'd be great. Perfect.
Yeah. Which is, I think you've got more daily users on here too. Cheaper land, more daily users. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I love the graphics. I that's the big thing. If it wasn't for the graphics, if they were more blocky like the Decentraland, I don't think I would like this as much, but this really has some promise. You can see that the artwork, they've really put some work into it, and their website's super easy to use. So this is a good project to keep an eye on, and it's not one that has to grow a lot because it is huge. Right. It's big and successful right now. So as long as they keep going the direction that they're going, this is a solid investment, and I'm definitely getting in on some shards and some staking.
Yeah, they're paving the way on the play to earn, and the stuff, as all the research I was doing for this, there was a lot of talk of, if you get involved, if you get in and start playing the game, you're absolutely going to love it. The creativity, the visuals, like you've stated, and they're building on that with the land play and the structures that can be built and gaming and all that. So more or less, this game has taken off since last year, but it's just at the beginning. It's got so much more planned as far as gameplay and lands, and the team behind it is just top notch, is what I kept reading over and over again, not only from Sky Mavis, but also those that are invested in it, or that are currently playing it.
Yeah, you showed the partner wheel that showed some of the people that are involved either financially or with the creation of it, and there are huge names in there. And Ubisoft's another is a huge one. That's one that does level 1 games. The top tier stuff is done by Ubisoft. So that's the type of partners you want to see in a project like that, and that's the one that they're not taking a long shot. So you can assume that you're not taking a long shot.
Yeah. If it's got their attention, it probably ought to have ours also.
Exactly. That's how I should have put it.
Leading into next week, episode number 6, Meta Mentors, we're going to do Facebook Horizon, which is that ought to be really interesting. It's not decentralized. It's the opposite, but anything with Facebook is getting a lot of attention. And if it's getting a lot of attention, we're going to look into it and see why that is. So that's another one that's going to be really, really interesting to see what they've got going behind the scenes, because of course it's not rolled out. It's not available. There's not much known about it at all.
Right. Yeah. That's one that you can invest in as heavily in the traditional aspect as you'll be able to, whether they have their own token or whether they end up going with something like a Polygon or an Ethereum. You can invest right now in Meta, the company that owns it. And in fact, because of all their troubles recently, their price is about 40% down. So if you are into the stock market, now's a good time to buy it. I just got quite a bit for about 207. 207. Yeah. Anyways, so that next week is Facebook. That'll be a good one. But like you said, that'll be nice to go the opposite way, because places like Decentraland that are trying to be as decentralized and user owned as possible, Facebook will be the opposite.
It's going to be a great comparison. Like always, if you've got comments, questions, if we screwed something up, said something incorrectly, be sure to let us know. We started to get some interaction for our first free NFT giveaway from our last episode, Next Earth. So we're really excited. To give that away and continue to do that. But let us know what you think, and continue to hit that subscribe button so that we can grow this channel and share more of this journey with anybody that is interested. So
yeah, don't forget, you can actually jump back to that last video. If this is the first video that you're seeing from this channel, you've still got 2 more weeks to join the competition. It's a free to enter competition. We're giving away a plot of land in Next Earth. We now have it secured. We had a little hiccup last week and didn't get it, but we've got that plot of land. It's free to enter. If you go to the last video, I'll link it at the end of this video and in the description. You can watch Next Earth, and our first competition at the end of this month, February, we'll be giving away an NFT of land in the metaverse, our first one ever, and it'll be in the Next Earth metaverse. So still a chance to get in. In fact, you have very good odds, because this is a small channel right now. You've got very good odds to win a free NFT. So hit that last episode up, check it out, and come back.
And we'll see you next week, episode number 6, Meta Horizons. Almost said Facebook again. Meta Horizons.
Is it? I don't know. I just know it's called Horizons, but it's Meta. I don't know. We'll figure it out, and we'll let you know next week.
See you then.
See you, man.